Hey, it's morning again, and got a blue sky. It's cold, but I can deal with that. It's not raining, so I think it's time we started basically putting all of this together. So yeah, with further ado, let's get to doing. Well, I had to do it. I had to open my mouth and say it was a nice morning. So it started raining, and the only thing I can think to do is there's a few bits I want to do on the fuse box. So yeah, let's just get to doing those. Okay, so we've been working on the bus bar here, and I don't know if you can see that, but I've actually made a cut there, and I've made a cut there, so it separates this bus bar out. So I think I've got the indicator relay in the wrong place, but that doesn't matter. Basically what that will give us is 3 separate banks. So we will have one bank here, which that will go directly to the battery. That will give us those 6 fuses. We will have a separate set of 3, separate bank of 3, and a separate bank of 3. Both of these will go to position X and position 15 on the ignition switch. Position 30 there, that is power from the battery. So both of these banks will be switched. Now obviously the fuses are just stuck in there, and they're not actually in their correct places at the moment. They're just pushed in there just to get them out of the way, just so I don't lose them. But yeah, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to actually take this fuse box, I'm going to tape it up, and I'm going to just write on the fuse box what everything is and where it goes, so that I have a visual reference. And then let's just see if we can start getting this sorted out. I might be able to get a few things connected. Like I said, one of the problems I'm having is that I was anticipating having that those butt connectors, so I could start connecting to this, but obviously they've sent the wrong ones, so we'll see what we can figure out today. Today is just going to be obviously a day of just doing little bits and pieces again in the conservatory here, so I'll probably not shoot much footage at all. But anyway, that's the basic setup for the fuse box. Yeah. Okay, I've got most of the fuse box now rewired. Got all the pigtails and everything on. There's still a few to do, but I need the butt connectors that were incorrect. So that's all I can do on that. But I'm back to the indicator stalks and stalk for the wipers, and I'm just pinning them out. Obviously, I'm not putting an end on them, so that I can just slip them into place. It's still a pretty horrendous day, so I think once I get this actually finished, I'm just going to pack up for the day, because there's not a great deal I can do. I need the butt connectors, or I need to be in the van, and it's just too windy and too wet to be out there. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to get this other arm finished, and that's probably going to be it for the day. Okay, so things are moving along. Yeah, I'm back in the conservatory again, because it's easier to work in here, but yeah, so there's basically the first bit of harness wrapped. It's not that one, where's it at? That's all ready just to plug straight into the harness that's already in the van. I've got a couple of terminals to put on there, and yeah, then we're ready to get this basically sat in place and do another test fitting. This fuse box is going to be in and out of this van a lot. So yeah, it is going to go in, out, a lot. Okay, so this complete rat's nest is my test harness for the windshield wipers. I know where it all goes, so this is just going to be set up temporary, just to test that the wipers, figure out that what I've got here, where are we at, is actually correct. So let's get out there and let's give it a shot. Okay, there we go. So a couple of connections to make to the battery, and then we'll give this a shot. Fingers crossed. I've searched and searched. I've asked people online. I've tried everything I can to try and determine what that the pinout on that wiper motor is. So I am fingers crossed. Let's go and grab a battery. Well, the news is not good. I put my makeshift harness in and there was nothing. I was getting nothing from the motor whatsoever. So I have gone ahead and I have finished off the correct harness, the real harness. I've got that all plugged in and still absolutely nothing. I've been through the switches. I'm pretty sure they're okay. So whatever's going on is going on at the motor. So yeah, deep sigh. I've got to take it out. And I need to figure out how to get the air vents and everything out, because previously when I've done this, the dash and everything has all been out, the windshield's been out, so it's been easy to get in and out at. So I've got to kind of figure out how to do it with it all in place. So wish me luck. I will be back. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. That goes up kind of like that. So it's just a case of just getting a hold of it, giving it a bit of a shake, and it just popped off. The white piece down there came out with it. The other one just popped straight off. So now I've loosened off the two the nuts on the spindle, and if I remember, there's a bolt or a nut somewhere in there. Can't see it, but there's one somewhere in there. I think there's a 13mm somewhere. Can you just see it? Isn't that it? Anyway, there's one in there somewhere. Let's go and get it out. Get this motor out, get it on the bench, and then start messing about with it. And right from the beginning I was like, oh God, I hope I don't have to take the motor out. Well, here I am, taking it out. Almost feels like spring. Anyway, I'm gonna get this sorted out this morning. Oh, let's try not to chip the paint. Yeah, let's get this all cleaned up. You know, I was sitting here, well, I was sitting in the house last night thinking about this, and I thought I'd already done this. I honestly thought I had broken this down and cleaned it all up, but I guess I didn't. Yeah, I guess I did not. But anyway, I'm going to do it now. Yeah, I have this vague memory. I know I was messing about with this at the beginning of last year. Well, early on last year anyway. And I thought I had greased it all up, but whatever, you know, I guess I didn't. So I think what I might do though is I need to figure out what's going on in here. Where are we? There we are. It's doesn't look too bad. I don't know. What's that? That's what I was looking at. Just yeah, this actually looks all right. Let's get some cable and let's just test this on the battery, see what we can figure out. Wow. There's a little bit of a noise, but it is running. That's on the high speed. That sounds like it needs greasing. I thought I'd greased it, but... Okay, we do have a slow speed. I think I need to take this motor apart and give it a good grease. Yeah, can you hear that? Let's tell you what, let's grease it all up first, and then we'll take a look in there, figure it out. We can do it. Okay, I'm out of breath. This took some getting out, but it's out there now, so let's just give this a damn good clean up, lubricate it, stick it back in, and then I'll get on and do the other side. Itchy nose. Yeah, it's yeah. What can I say? It's a bit nasty in there, but it's 50 some years of dirt, grime, water, and all sorts getting into there, so it can be expected. Okay, there we have it. I need a circlip for the top, but yeah, that's moving nicely now. So let's get on and do the other one. There we go, there's the other spindle out. I'm just packing it with grease, and we'll get that back in. But like I say, I need to pick up a couple of circlips, but that's okay. I need a box of them anyway. There's a few others that I need. But yeah, I didn't expect to be doing this. I thought I'd done this, but obviously I didn't. So maybe it was one of those things. I put to one side, thought, yeah, I'll do that, and then got on doing something else. Who knows? But anyway, it's done now. Okay, so everything's greased up. I still need some circlips for the tops of these, but obviously you can hear it grinding now because that is just pushing back through because it needs a circlip on the top. But yeah, next thing I've got to do is figure out the switch. I'm thinking I might take it back out to the van. I know. I might just take it out, bring it out here, and then I can just sit and work with it on the bench and try and figure it from there. So I'm sitting here editing the video, and I have a lot of footage in this section, and it's basically me going through and troubleshooting the motor. However, I made a fundamental mistake that I don't discover until later, and I don't think you need to see all of the footage of me testing everything and going back and forth and back and forth, so I'll just basically skip straight to it. But the one thing I did not do was test the continuity of the ground, and the ground was faulty, or at least it wasn't a very good ground, and I ended up actually putting a completely new ground cable in. So I'll spare you all the testing and me trying to figure stuff out, and we'll just skip to the part where I've got the motor working. So my pinout on here appears to be correct. Now, when I try it, that first position, this is the one I don't know what it does. So I've just got it in that position for a moment. We're getting nothing. I've got to assume there's something missing on the system, because why would there be three positions there? Anyway, we go to the next position. And then it parks. Let me just move that over to the other side, and we're not, just in case we don't want to get cables tangled up. But yeah, and then hi. And park. So I don't know what that first position does. It's I straight up don't know. So yeah, if anybody does know what that first position is for, then please feel free to bloop it down into the comments there. because I have no idea. But it's working. It is working. So I may as well put this back in. I know the pinout that I have is correct. So, oh, by the way, the only thing that I've actually done is instead of earthing through this connector, I've put an earth directly to the body, because that's all that this connector does, is just earths to the body. So I don't know why it didn't work earlier, but it didn't, but it is now. So, you know, whatever. I'll just do that when I get it finally installed. I'll just put a separate earth lead on there that can just go down and just go straight to a body ground. But yeah, it's we have functioning wipers. Well, there we have it. That is the wiper motor now complete. So yeah, it's been a pain, there's no doubt. It has been a bit of a pain in the butt, but excuse me. Yeah, I'm glad it happened now and not somewhere down the line where I had to pull a load of stuff back out again and maybe try and backtrack through the wiring. The other thing that I've done is as well, rather than the ground going through the connector, it is its own independent connection now. So there is that. With that in mind, and in this confused state, I think it's a good place to bring the video to a close. Aha! We now have this solved. Now, thanks to Rob on one of the forums, apparently some of these vans had intermittent, some of them didn't. But if you look there on the old relay box, you can see there's several positions for well, that's actually 9-pole relays, but that means a 6-pole intermittent relay would fit in there. Now, that box was not wired for it, so I know this van did not have intermittent wipe on it. However, he also pointed out that these switches usually have a stop built into them, and that stops you getting the intermittent position, which is there. So that will be intermittent wipe, that will be off and park, slow speed, high speed. And he said usually what happens is that the little bung that stops you getting that intermittent position, it falls out, it gets broken, it gets lost over time. So it means that you can actually click the switch down there. Still need to tighten that up, but you can click the switch into that position and nothing happens. So that is that all cleared up. So this has been a head scratcher of a video, and if there is one lesson to be learned, is check your grounds. Don't assume that they're good. But we've gotten there eventually. Now I am going to have a quick dig around before I go back into the house and have a look to see if I do have one of those 6-pole intermittent wiper relays. So if I do, I'm not entirely sure yet whether I'm going to incorporate it, but knowing me, I probably will. And if so, you're going to see it at some point in probably, well, it'll be the wiring videos anyway, because there's still a few more to come. Yes, I have one. But with that in mind, first of all, I'd like to thank Rob. He really did help me out with that. Knowing what that switch does now, it makes a huge difference. But I'd like to also thank everybody that watches. Obviously, likes and subscriptions do help. Keeps the algorithm rolling along, and yeah. So I'm going to go in, have a cup of coffee, sit and mull over what I'm going to do next, and then you will be finding that out next week. Anyway, take care and have a good one.